This show is brought to you by Neil Zaradnik believes in giving you a more personal service. I asked him what sets him apart from other lawyers, and he said, I really do care about the people I represent. He meant it. If you're looking for a lawyer, call Neil Zaradnik. He won't charge you to talk to you. He won't judge you. And when you want to talk to him, he'll be there for you. Hi everybody, and welcome to one of the most exciting parts of our show this month, October Halloween Special. I'm joined by Christine Gentry, who is a member of the organization ECHO, Paranormal Investigations, and they're serious about it. This is not a spoof. Christine is very serious about what she does, right?
Absolutely.
Christine, why don't you give us a little background on you and your group?
Our group is called East Coast Hauntings Organization, and we just say Echo Paranormal for short so people can remember that.
Does a ghost have an echo? I never thought of that.
I don't know.
If a ghost starts talking, does he have an echo?
I don't know. You might consider that being in spirit is sort of an echo of yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Do they cast shadows?
No, but they can take the form of a shadow figure. A dark, black, inky figure sometimes.
So if you're looking at your shadow on the wall and all of a sudden it starts doing things you aren't doing?
Well, yeah, these are usually right in the middle of the room and shouldn't be there at all.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. So go ahead and tell us some more about your group and yourself.
We do paranormal investigations. We use both a lot of scientific equipment for documentation. Documentation is very important to us. We also clear spaces as well of what's there. Sometimes we have just what we call regular hauntings, which are human spirits that are lost, what people call ghosts.
Okay.
And sometimes we have things that are dark entities, and these are non-human, and they're very malevolent. And it depends on what type of case we have. We handle both situations.
Now, how do you know the difference between the two?
A lot of it you can tell by the activity, the manifestations that are going on. Ghosts or human spirits don't have a lot of energy reserves. We figure it might be somewhere around 60 hertz of energy in the average human spirit.
Okay.
Dark entity stuff is much more potent, much more able to do bigger and better
manipulate the physical environment.
Manifestations. Yes. Very, very, depending on what type it is of dark entity, they have some that are lower types and higher types, and they can do some real dangerous type of manifestations toward people.
In a little while, we're going to go through some of the places in the theater. The Apollo Theater is supposed to be haunted, and we're going to look around a little bit, and Christine and her colleague are going to try to find some ghosts and spirits and things here, and
they're here.
Tom is going to demonstrate in just a few minutes some of the equipment too. Mm-hmm. Now, you say dark entities and ghosts. Which do you find more prevalent? And, well, have you found many of either?
Yes.
Yes. That was abrupt.
Yes.
Okay. How many ghosts and how many evil things?
It depends on where you go. I mean, certain places seem to have more dark things. Other places don't have that type of attraction or energy. I don't know why. You know?
I was just going to ask you, what kind of environments lean towards the dark things?
Places where there's been violence, battlefields, places of mass destruction, and it can even be as simple as somebody's home where there's a lot of negative people living there.
So the negative, the death, the pain, the anguish, that attracts the bad spirits.
Where there's been violence. And you get that on battlefields. It's gigantic violence. And that attracts negative things.
All right, now, what do they do? Some of these energies that you
mean the
witnessed yourself.
manifestations?
Yeah. What have you seen them do?
I have not seen anything that was manifested in front of us as we're investigating that's malevolent. A lot that you can see. I'm a medium and a sensitive as well. So anybody who's sensitive, and this could be somebody who's just a regular person that has some latent psychic abilities. We all have those. It's whether you tune into them or not, or you work them enough to be a medium or a psychic. But they can use energy to make you very uncomfortable. They can squeeze you with energy. They can touch you.
I think I've had one follow me around this month.
Yeah, really? Well, you want to be careful about that. It might squeeze you too much. But
sorry, I'm clumsy but quick.
Yeah, you know, they will do movement of objects that could potentially come at you or hurt you, things that fall or stuff like that. But basically, everybody's sensitive to a certain type of energy, and people can get sick from it around really negative things. It can exacerbate physical conditions and medical conditions you already have, mental issues. It can create depression. They work very subtly.
See, hon, it's not me.
They work very subtle for the most part. They try to be hidden, not really obvious, until they're in certain stages of being in your home or your business.
So
There's
they
certain
move
stages.
in, they kind of get comfortable, grab a beer, you know, watch
That's
a few
right. They're
games
very
on
quiet,
the TV
silent.
set. And, okay, it's time to start terrorizing these people.
Yes, we call that ramping it up a little bit. And then they start usually with fear tactics.
Now, have you ever personally met or encountered any of these beings? Do we ever able to see them?
We've seen shadow people when we're doing tapings in the room.
No, that was CIA.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
People.
But you'll see shadows that are full-formed human shapes, and they can be any size. They can be very small, or they can be big, really tall, 10 feet or so.
Wow.
But you'll see them move as a solid. It looks like a solid smoky mass, and it's inky black, and you cannot see through it.
What do you? All right, so you personally?
Yes,
seen
I
this?
have seen some. Yes, skitter. They sort of move real fast.
So you're a pretty brave lady.
I'm
you
hardwired this
you're
way.
back there again, so you're still doing it. So
I'm
you
hardwired,
didn't run away.
No, I've never run yet.
What did you? All right, tell me something that happened to you specifically when you were confronted by one of these dark masses, you know, and.
Well, we're really usually running at them with a camera. We don't run. We run at them.
Are ghosts camera shy?
Well, yes, kind of.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like people. Some are, some aren't.
I mean, really, if you do see an apparition, they've shown themselves. That's the only way you're going to really see a human apparition.
Okay, so here comes this dark mass, and he's standing there, and you're running at him with your camera, and what happened?
Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Mostly they don't want to be there and be approached too close. They move on the background. They work a lot on fear. That just seeing me is going to freak you out, and that's what I want.
Right. So if you don't freak out, they go, "Oh, forget this
they
lady.
get a little.
Next."
They ramp up and try some other things. And usually they try with the squeezing of the pressure. We call it banding, where they'll band around your head with energy or your chest.
So maybe all those earaches that I have,
you just never know.
I'm being banded.
Banded. Well, this would be really oppressive feeling and really hurt. It would be heavy. You'd feel heaviness around you and stuff like that. So the malevolent stuff is insidious and slow and patient.
What's the worst they can actually do to you?
The worst, they can give you depression enough to commit suicide. They can give you enough physical ailments. You keep going to the doctors and they can't find anything. Phantom.
I mean, can they, like, you know, pick up a chair and whack you over the head?
Scratch you? I see a lot of scratches on people and have been in the presence where someone was scratched.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And the scratching is an energy. It's not like they're really using claws or hands in the physical. It's an energy. They're not physical. They're energy. So they can sort of project energy where they want it. And most people, when you get a malevolent scratch, it will burn. You will see nothing on the skin except it'll burn really bad, like a bad sunburn. and you notice it right away. It hurts. And then usually the scratches lift up, and you see them. And usually within a couple hours they're totally gone, and all the redness and everything is completely gone.
How many guys have used that excuse when they got home and their wife saw the scratches on their back? Wasn't me, babe. It was a ghost.
Yeah, not a ghost, entity.
An
Dark
entity.
entity. Yes.
Yeah, I was on the subway, hon. It wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yes, I have seen people where they're actually there and they get the scratches.
Yeah, you know, it's a serious business, you know, what you're talking about. And
yes, it is.
People make a lot of
yeah.
light of it, and I imagine you encounter a lot of skeptics that kind of give you a little bit of grief about it.
I encounter a lot of skeptics that call me.
Really?
Yes.
And what do they say?
Because they've had some experiences that are just over the top, and they're being terrorized in their home. Yeah.
And you, all right, so let's say, okay, it was just like 1-900 Ghostbusters, and
Pretty much.
They call you up and you go to their house, and what's the first thing that happens after you introduce yourself, etc.?
Well, we usually do a quick walkthrough, really quick.
With just your gauges and stuff?
No, just with a camera. Go in with, for me, the sensitives go to, and we sort of appraise the environment. Is it oppressive? Are we feeling energies? Are we feeling something that's a negative energy? Are we being banded? Are we just sensing there's something wrong with a certain room, perhaps? Mm-hmm. You can actually walk rooms, and even normal people can do that. You can walk in a room and feel the pressure.
Right. Now, let's say you feel a ghost or an entity, a bad entity, evil entity. What do you do next?
Well, basically we do a walkthrough about 20-30 minutes, just kind of figure out where the hot spots energetically may be. Mm-hmm. Then we come back and usually talk to what I call clients, or homeowners or business people, or somebody that called us in. Mm-hmm. And we kind of sit down with them, and you know, mostly I've interviewed them by phone before we set an investigation date. So I have the information, but a lot of my team members don't have all the information.
How many people on a team?
We have 7 people in our group, and the teams depend on who's available for which investigation.
Okay. So now you've had your conversation on the phone, your team shows up at the door, you
go in, we talk to the client.
Do you walk through, talk to the client?
Ask them if anything's happened since I've talked to them, kind of let them touch bases for the rest of the people that weren't on that phone conversation with me, the other team members, and try to catch up kind of what basic, general. I don't want a lot of details. I just want to know, have you seen an apparition? Have you been touched? I don't want to know where in the house. We don't want to know that. We want to go in as cold as possible, but we want to know the general phenomena that you're having.
Right. Okay, so you found one. Okay,
yeah.
You came across it, you walked in, you looked around, and you detect that there's something there.
Well, we go into the equipment mode at that point.
Excuse me. So, okay, so you detected on the equipment, and Tom will be here in just a little bit to show us how that works. Now, you've detected this ghost or entity. Do you do different things depending on which it is?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let's say we'll go with the lightweight stuff. The ghost.
The ghost.
Yeah, because the other guy, you know, he's got to take a little bit of extra. But
yes.
All right. So you encounter a ghost. You know it's there, and when you detect one, and you sensitive people feel it, and your equipment registers it, you're 100% certain something is there. I mean, there's no doubt in your mind.
Yes, as a medium, I'm pretty sure.
So here's a ghost guy. You found him. He's sitting over here on the desk. What do you do?
Basically, the next thing would be to do, sometimes I tell the client what we think is there. If it's a spirit, try to give them some idea of why it's there. And
you don't have those big nuclear traps that open up Ghostbusters?
Not yet.
None of that stuff.
Not yet. And you really don't want to keep them. Basically, what we want to do with a human spirit is we want to help it cross and go where it belongs.
Okay.
Because basically, if you're in between, you've detached from your physical body, you go into what we call the astral, which is the next, your energy
plane.
only. Yes, your energy only, but you're still tethered emotionally to your life. You have your memories of that life, you have your consciousness, you're a floating consciousness of energy. You're still tethered here.
Or you're just stubborn, you just don't want to go.
Some people don't. Some people don't. Some people die so quickly that they don't know they're dead. I wish I knew the answer to that question, because sometimes they want to go desperately, but for some reason they can't find how to do it. They can't, and what we call is the light.
TV shows about
the light.
Go into the light.
It is the light.
Okay.
And
Where
it's
does
just,
the light go?
The light goes past astral and way up many dimensions. For me, it goes to God. It goes to the realm of where you came from originally.
Right. Well, that's an important factor, because so many people assume these ghost hunters and things like that are not religious, you know.
Well, I have Christian beliefs.
Right.
I'm a medium. My work is angelic therapy work. That's what I'm certified in. So I work with the angelic realm sort of thing.
So you have angels that work with you and help you out?
Angels and guides.
Do you ever?
And most mediums and psychics do, yes.
You ever converse with these angels?
Every day. I converse all the
like
time,
we talk, it's like they respond to you.
It's clairaudience. It's called clairaudience. And that is not like you hear voices in your head. You do not hear gender. You hear the thought. And it's almost the same. I try to explain to people. It's like when you recite the Pledge of Allegiance to yourself in your head, you have no gender or inflection or timbre. You have the thought going through your head. It is exactly the same thing with thought coming out from elsewhere.
Okay, so now these angels sent from God down to earth to help out.
Well, yes.
So we're not alone?
We're never alone.
Okay.
We have a whole army of spiritual people with us. We don't come here with an empty basket from God.
Okay, so now you want this person to go. All right, we'll play a little role play here. This is the stage at the Apollo. So we're going to do a little role play. I'm the ghost. I'm not the bad guy.
Okay.
I'm a ghost, and I'm a New York ghost, and I came down here to the Apollo, you know, down in West Virginia with you guys.
Okay.
And I'm hanging out on the stage, and I really want to get back to New York, but I'm stuck here, you know. So, ooh. All right.
Well, okay, first I would know more about you. I'd know how you died. The moment of your death is very critical to your moving on.
Okay. I died of boredom.
No, you died maybe in a coma and didn't know you died.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
Okay, because that's one where you can be confused because you don't know what's
happening, right?
Right.
Okay, so I was in a coma, and I died. They unplugged me. My wife said,
right.
You know, no point in it.
So then I want to find out
I'm haunting her. That's why I came back.
What your kink is. There's a kink that keeps you.
I like leather.
Okay. It's a tanglement in your emotional state. You've got something.
Oh, you mean that kind of kink?
Yes.
Okay.
You've
I
got
got excited
some reason,
for a minute.
and maybe it's just fear you don't know what's happened in your case. Okay. I don't know I'm dead, so I don't know. I'm trying to get home to my family. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back, even to my office, because that's where I walk out.
Okay. Now, do I communicate these thoughts to you somehow?
Yes.
All right.
We have a conversation.
I want to get back to New York. How do I get there?
I would say no, you don't want to go to New York. You want to go into the light and cross. Because
Broadway.
You can never go back. You can go back to Broadway after you've crossed.
I can?
And be intact, an intact consciousness on the right side, and then come back and visit. And you even have more abilities at that time than you do when you're stuck with 60 hertz.
All right, so I went into the light, and do you meet these other people too?
You will have somebody there that loves you very much and who visits you and comes in the light and takes you. They will cross with you and walk with you.
You mean people in my family who've already died?
Whoever that you loved very, very much that's crossed.
Well, there's nobody waiting for me.
Well, then you'll have somebody that you may recognize but don't know why you recognize them.
Okay.
And you'll feel comfortable with
All right, so I go into
Plus,
the
the light is very beautiful and very calming.
Well, I might check it out. You know, I want to stop before, if I get this interim period, I'm going to drop by and say hi to my wife. Don't be scared. Hey, Sheila, hey, it's me. You know, and I'll do spirit writing or something. Do they do that really, spirit writing?
I haven't seen it.
Well, I'll figure it out. I'm a filmmaker. I'll have special effects right in the living room for my wife, and she's pretty cool. I think she can handle it.
But the basis of crossing anything or getting rid of a dark entity, which is different, there is no light, there is no crossing it. It is simply removed by angelic stuff. It's taken away. The point is to give people back their homes.
Okay.
Okay. It's about living in your home. That's your castle. and it's yours.
Right.
And you're being systematically destroyed either by a malevolent entity that could take years or decades and take its time. They have nowhere to go. You're their mission. You are their victim, okay? Or a ghost that needs to go over and cross and go back where it belongs so it can continue for its soul to evolve.
Okay, here comes
it's all about evolving.
Here comes the $64 question. How successful are you in chasing these guys
100%.
out?
I have never returned to any place I've done.
Wow.
And
That's impressive.
We are one of the few groups that is dealing with...
Is that why the audience is gone?
They're leaving.
Bring back the audience. Don't go into the light.
Yeah.
Stay.
Yeah, no, you won't be happy. You'll be reliving your death every minute. So, but yes.
Oh, that's like time for Plan B.
Yeah.
So, you're 100% successful. Now, how many approximately? You've been doing this, would you say 4 or 5 years?
I didn't do what we call light work or angelic mediumship for all of those years. I had to get I started out being clairsentient, which is I could feel energies, and I worked on that for 5 years.
Wow, you've been doing this a long time.
I have, but I did that because I wanted to get better, okay? And then the clairsentient was really good for me for a long time because I could tell by the energy whether it was male or female, animal, human, child. I could tell. I got so good at that. But I wanted more.
Now you focus, well, to finish it up, you've done about how many of these? Now you focus primarily in the Berkeley County.
Yes,
what
I'll do
areas
any
do you
place. I'll do any place I can get to.
Okay.
Usually,
is there a lot of ghosts in Berkeley County? In Jefferson?
There's a lot of stuff everywhere. I don't think it makes any difference. People are dying all over and don't cross. Dark things are around us all the time. They're looking for an opening.
Right.
It's everywhere.
So how many of these things have you evicted?
Well, dark entity stuff I've started doing a year and a half ago. I would say we've probably done maybe 20 cases.
Wow. That's a lot.
Well, I'd
20 dark energy guys.
I'd like to do more.
How many ghosts?
Oh, I've been doing that a long time. Crossing with light work, that's probably been about 10 years. I do them when I go places too. I don't have to be an investigation. I can walk someplace and walk into something and move it.
All right, so you walk in.
A lot. I'd say.
So how do you get it to leave? I mean, what if it doesn't want to go? I mean, obviously, you're successful at it.
Well, I don't. The problem why they don't stay.
You can't just go up and say, "Yo, take a powder."
If they're, what I say is, if you don't want to talk to me and you're not interested, then leave. There's plenty more that want to go, and I can talk to them.
Go haunt the guy next door.
Right, and
then
certainly
they can bring
most
you in
of them.
Week.
But most of them, say, well, oh, you're going to kick me out? That kind of gets them. Like, don't you want to beg me? Don't you want? No.
No.
I don't.
Take a hike, Jack.
No, it's fine. It's free choice. It's
Put
free
on
will.
An old song, Hit the Road,
it's completely
Jack.
Free will. But they kind of get intrigued a little bit, and then they start asking a few questions, and then you're like, well, the light's already here, look at it. And it's looking at it and feeling it and experiencing what life could be.
So you're like that lady on TV that helps people cross over. I forget the name of it.
The Ghost Whisperer?
Ghost Whisperer.
That's exactly pretty almost what it's like. Really? Absolutely.
So, but she actually sees people.
Yes.
And they look three-dimensional and solid.
Well, that's just entertainment. I can get pictures, but that's clairvoyance. That's you get the picture of the person in your head, in your mind's eye.
Yeah, I don't tell people about what's in my head because then they'll put me away.
But it's like remembering your own memory. You have the picture in your head. It's the same kind of thing with that. Yeah.
That's pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's
now,
heavy.
Do you charge for this?
No.
So it's all volunteers. So if you folks out there have a haunted house
or somebody that's really suffering from some activity and they don't understand what's going on because it can be something that's not really good and they're never going to get rid of, or something that's a walk-in, like mostly here you have walk-ins and ghosts. They have nowhere else to go. They're landing here, okay? They can get a lot of energy from all the people that come in. That lets them do some, minor activity around the place, maybe even show themselves occasionally. Wow. They draw from us. We're batteries, so they draw from us a bit.
Is there anything else you want to say to folks? And we're going to cut for a break and then check out of the next segment with Tom and the equipment before we go through the theater and actually do a search. for ghosts.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other message you have for the folks?
The only message I would say that people that are doing paranormal investigation, a lot of them don't realize what they could encounter, and it's dangerous.
All right, real quick. First, the guys on television, that show, is that any kind of realistic? Are they serious, or is that just entertainment?
It starts out serious, I'm sure, but I think you get caught up in the entertainment.
Yeah, I flicked through the channels. I don't really watch the show, but I remember a couple of times going through it. I was there, and the one guy goes to the other one, "Did you feel that?" "Yes." And the viewer's going, "Can I have a cup of coffee?"
Well, you shouldn't be over-exaggerating at that point after you've been on air a long time, right?
Yeah,
It's
really.
entertainment. It's called entertainment.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, from your perspective, what they're doing, how accurate is it?
I think I don't know. The equipment use is used the way it should be used. How it's edited and put together is a different story.
Yeah, that's my job. And who knows, by the time you guys watch this, there may be things flying around our heads.
Could be. Maybe we'll catch.
Maybe the camera will pick up somebody sitting here
right.
between us.
I would love that.
How do the people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me at www.ghostecho.com, and just look me up online at the website, or contact Dan. He's got me.
Contact Dan, and we'll put you in touch with your ghost. Yes,
absolutely.
indeed. Call 1-900-DO-DANNY, and we will get the folks out there and chase them bad sheet-wearing fools away.
I'm not hard to find. Look up Echo Paranormal in Martinsburg. You'll find me.
Thank you very much for coming in.
All right, thank you.
And in just a few minutes, we're going to have Tom. And then, if you folks actually watch this in sequence, because I'm going to break it up into individual segments, we're going to go through the theater and investigate some of the hot spots and look for the ghost. The one who took my cable from my mic just a little while ago and wrapped it around the camera and almost knocked the camera over, which meant almost no show. So,
They're bad.
Yep. Mischievous. Thank you for watching.